Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Two Girls Try Not to Quit. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what we would do if we actually quit everything. And this thought came to us. We were actually together for her birthday, Audrey's birthday, the other day. And as we were walking on the street, we both just like had this moment when we looked at each other and we was like, what if we just quit, everything? What if we just quit our jobs, just move to an island, have a chill life and not do anything. And I was like, you know what, Audrey? I have that thought on my mind like 100 times a day while I'm at work. And I literally look at my coworker and I'm like, you know what? I just want to quit everything. I want to quit. I'm going to quit, actually, in fact. And then I snap out of it. But we're going to go into what if we really just quit?
Yeah, I love this because this is a question I'll ask when I meet someone new and it's, just having fun networking. I'm like, what would you do? Like, take away everything you're doing now, take away money, take away, needs and wants. What would you do if you could do absolutely anything? Some people, they have nothing. It's so sad. Other people, you see them light up, they get excited, you learn something really random about them too. And it's like, cool. So, side note, networking tip, but it brings up some interesting topics because it's like, well, why aren't we quitting what we're doing to do something that we want to do or that we're excited about? Like, what holds people back from just being like, sure, I'm going to quit the corporate job and I'm going to go live on an island and teach yoga? What's that piece that holds people back?
Yes, and I think it's even interesting to think about this generation right now because I think this generation has that thought in their minds a lot more than baby boomers did or our parents did. And a lot, I feel like every single episode, we're going back to social media and how it has changed our perspective and our lives in so many different ways. Because the thing is, years ago, nobody could see the 17-year-old on an island and making $100,000 per day, just living life, doing whatever they want, or the traveler who just literally quit everything because she wanted to travel. Maybe they were doing that in the baby boomer generation as well, but not everybody could see it because we didn't have the mass social media pushing it out there. But now we can see with our eyes what other people are doing, and it makes us wonder, what am I doing? What am I not doing that? What do I really want? And more often than not, people get unhappy with the realities and the life that they're living. And that's when those thoughts usually came to mind.
The
And
grass
that's
is
something
greener on the
really
other side.
interesting. Exactly, because right, you see it and you're like, oh yeah, the grass is greener over there. And no, in reality, like grass is greener where you water it. I 100% agree with that. But since we see this all the time, it's definitely in our minds. And let me go into my personal perspective and why I think about this on a daily basis. Because I think I'm constantly battling two different sides of me. On one side, I have the career person who really wants to do a lot of things and achieve good things and build my career and make a lot of money and, just go, 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 go. Yes, I have that side of me. And then on the other side of me, I don't want to call her lazy me because I don't believe that's lazy, but I would say the more softer version of me who is just okay with having content in her life. And if I was at a beach, serving margaritas all day to random strangers and with the sun and the water in my face every day, that sounds lovely sometimes. And what's stopping me from being that person? Really? Nothing. I could do it. Why am I not doing it?
That's the fun part. It's like realistic. I thought of this the other day. I was like, the only thing holding me back is really like a lease right now. Like, if I ended my lease, I could up and do whatever I want. Would I freak out my parents
Exactly. You know
and would
what?
people be worried of my mental health? Probably. But
You know what? Break your lease, buy a plane ticket one way, and don't come back.
yeah, I have thought about it because I have two different pathways I would go if I wasn't doing what I was doing. I've always wanted to work, and which is sad that the dream is not. My mom pointed out this once. The dream is not to be on a yacht and be on the charter, but work on the charter. Like, that might be my problem. But I've
Wait,
always
expand a
wanted.
little bit. What do you mean by that? It's unclear.
So you
Expand.
have, sorry, you have mega yachts, that are
Uh-huh.
like hundreds of thousands of dollars to
Yeah.
rent with crews and chefs and fabulous, you know?
Right.
One day, if I keep up the path I'm on, I will be one of those people renting it. However, before I moved to Florida, I was going to come down here for training and train to be a stewardess or, deck crew and work on yachts. I was super excited to do that. And then I got a call that was like, hey, you want to come interview? I was like, well, there goes that plan. I was literally like a day away from booking a flight to do it. And then the universe said, hey, ring, ring, different plan for you. So that's something that's still in the back of my mind.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
second
I
one
saw.
is just like
Yeah.
disappearing on an island and teaching yoga and surfing. So,
Well, you see, that's what I'm saying. You know what? Worst, not really worst case scenario. It's just a case scenario. We go to an island, I serve margaritas, you teach yoga, and we're just laying by the beach every
I mean, it
day. And
sounds
that's just our
wonderful.
life. It really does. Like, you know that people in Italy are the happiest, and they also have the highest rate of longevity,
Yeah.
and they eat
What?
pizza every day. I mean, they
No.
really don't, but
Hey,
that's
carbs are good for you. Deep down, carbs are good.
outside of the US, of course.
Yeah, that's fair. But
Yeah.
I think there's some key points there that you mentioned though, because generationally there's just differences, but also the environment you're in, like what you think is possible, what you can actually do. Because if I grew up on an island, I probably would have stayed on that island. Up north, it was very like corporate mindset, stay in a job, live in that job forever. Down here,
Mhm.
there's so many entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
My mind's been open to all these other possibilities. So I think a lot of what it
Okay.
has to do is with where you're where you're living and who you're surrounded by of what's even possible
Yeah, I
and
agree with you.
what technically is quitting, because you could live on the island and you could quit that life.
Yeah. Something that you said made me think about another aspect of it. So when you mentioned I have this so many opportunities coming my way. For example, you wanted to be like a flight attendant and then you got a call and it was like, okay, bye to that plan. And that's another thing. We're always getting hit by so many opportunities nowadays, online or in person. And it's almost like we can't really think clearly with what we want or how many times. And I know we've talked about this on other podcasts. How many times do we sit down and actually think about what we want without other people's opinions, other people's perspectives clouding our judgment? Not many. And then this opportunity comes your way. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take it. You took it, and now you're in it, and you're like, ah, did I really make the right decision? And I actually heard somebody say the other day at work. Actually, they were talking to us as a group, and he said, you know what? Something I learned in my life and so many mistakes I've made, I make a decision and I make it the right one. I don't say I made bad decisions. I whatever decision I make it the right one and I live with the consequences and I deal with whatever that decision comes with. And that's it. Period. No regret, no double thinking, just make a decision because that is the worst. The analysis paralysis that comes with not making a decision and not doing anything is the worst.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And so many people are stuck in that loop, and that's why they don't grow as well. um but I think one of the things that would love to figure out is, okay, if someone has this dream that's considered quitting what they're doing now or exiting what should be like traditional work, why don't they go and do it?
Mm.
Like, why not just go after that dream?
You know what? I'm going to talk about this. I've heard a lot about this topic and I've read a lot of books, listened to a lot of podcasts. And it's that the traditional American dream is actually a trap and it traps you into this loop. Because let's say somebody goes a traditional route. They went to college, they got a good degree, and then they get a high paying job. And they what do when they get a high paying job? They upgrade their life to match that paycheck, right? New house, new car, new bills, and they get a family, kids, daycare, whatever it is. They have all this life comes with that paycheck that is coming in, right? And now you're trapped because now you have all of these things and you have a standard to set as well with society. It shouldn't matter, but it does to you now. Because now you have all these things. What would people say if I quit my nice corporate job, making all this money, and I sell my house and I sell my cars? Are they going to think I'm crazy? Are they going to think I'm broke? It comes with a lot of that. So not only the trap that the job gives you with all these things that you now need to pay for, and if the job is not there, where are you going to get the money to pay for these things? Because if you don't get any of that and you get that job and maybe you want to start a business, with the business you can risk it because you don't have that many bills to pay or anything like that. If you're just living under your means, people have a lot more flexibility. But what most people do, not everybody, they get all the high bill stuff, and then now you're trapped. But then let's say they do get the courage to sell everything, or they don't have that many ties. There's also the social aspect, because maybe your dream is not that glorified. Maybe your dream is not that, it's not seen as cool by society, and you also have that. It really shouldn't matter. But let's talk again about us. What would we do? What would we do? And I already said, we already said it a little bit, but seriously, if you could quit tomorrow, I mean, you can, if you decide to quit tomorrow and everything, what would you realistically do in a year, in 2 years, if you could go and do whatever you want?
See, that dream of moving to an island or a beach somewhere, I I mean that came from I traveled out to um what's that island called? The Canaries.
Yeah.
And the people I were meeting there, they were just so happy, full of
Right.
life, excited, very genuine, but just it was just an infectious environment.
Right.
And when it came down to it, they just lived in this hostel. So you could live in the hostel, you keep it clean, and there's your rent. And then they would just do these side things like bartend in the evenings, teach a yoga class, teach surfing, and that was
Nice,
it.
simple stuff.
Very simple, just very like living their life, just wake up, go surfing, make fun of the white American that got sunburned, but it was just so lovely. And so I think that's a piece where I bounce back. I'm like, what? Because I realistically could quit everything, buy a one-way plane ticket to some island, and I would make my means doing that. But
Yeah.
would I do that?
But
No.
mhm. No, why
So
not? Okay, let's explore right now because you could do that. Why don't you?
one of the big pieces, of course, is family. If I'm 10 plus hour flight away, that would suck. And then I wouldn't have the means to easily fly back. Could I convince them to come with me? Maybe. But then it's like long term. Like if we're not thinking just grass greener on the other side, oh, it would be so lovely and happy and freedom of the day, there would be other things that I'd want to do eventually. And then I wouldn't have the means to do those things. Or just
Hmm.
the challenge of building something, being able to have an effect on other people, create transformation. Like that bug is in me, and that's
Yeah.
being fulfilled now. So the question
Yeah.
also is by quitting what you're doing now, what do you leave
What are you
behind?
giving up? What are you giving up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then what would you then want? What would you then have to quit to get that? I guess it's finding that balance of realistically, what am I wanting in quitting? Which sounds like flexibility, happiness, being able to do what I want to just do at random. And although I don't have that now, what I'm building, I think I will definitely have that in the future. And all the check boxes will be checked. So that's where I'm at the moment. But it will see. Well, I can always take a long, extended vacation to the Canaries. So,
We sure
but
can. I have family there.
hey, there we go. Making it possible. Maybe we should
Yeah,
take a trip.
I have my aunt, my uncle, and my cousin over there.
Oh, awesome. Making the dream
So,
sound a little easier.
do you want to buy a plane ticket right now?
Hey, would you want to join me? We could quit together.
Yeah.
Now we can edit the title to be two girls who quit.
Girls actively quitting. Goodbye. We'll catch
We
you in
could
the
still
next
there's
life.
internet out there. We could keep it going.
Honestly, I would keep it going. Because sometimes, like the island life, it doesn't mean you have to quit absolutely everything and live like internet doesn't exist. You can still do it from there. You're
It would
just
be
quitting your
nice.
active you're just quitting your current reality, but you can make it a new one. You can make something else.
Yeah, I think a big difference there was that people weren't on their phones. They weren't glued like this.
Yeah,
Like at the end of the night,
that
we were
makes a
playing
huge
music
difference.
and reading and writing, and so it's like that
Yeah, and
piece
as a
made a
Cuban
big difference.
myself, yeah, as a Cuban myself, I actually saw a video of this American guy who went to Cuba recently, which is crazy. I don't know why he did that because right now the situation is not up for vacationing. But he went and he actually made a video and he said, "Oh, they haven't had power for 30 hours. They barely have food. They barely have this. Honestly, right now the situation is very unbearable. And my dad lives there, so I know because I can barely talk to him sometimes because the internet is bad and I can barely talk to him. Sometimes I have to call him from my actual cell phone and like pay for the call because I can't reach him and I need to see if he's safe. But this American guy on the video that I saw was saying, with all of these issues, Cubans are still on the street talking to each other, laughing with each other, playing with a trash can, literally making the most out of what they have. And he actually showed images of everybody, and everybody had a smile on their face. And that's what I tell everyone. I realized one day I was on my one of my jobs in the past, and I was having just a bad day for no reason. Bad day for no reason, crappy attitude for no reason. And then I called my dad and he told me what they were gonna have for lunch that day, which is not great. And him and his coworker were super happy, smiling. And I was like, and I was buying Chick-fil-A. And I was like, why am I on a bad mood? This doesn't make any sense. But this relations what we were talking about is like sometimes people who have or live simple lives are just like they just have a good attitude about life and they're not on their phone looking at what other people are doing so they can compare it and they just make the most out of what they have without feeling bad about what they don't have, which is a lot of the core issue that Americans and a lot of people in the US, not only Americans, have nowadays. Even me, my right now, like I live here and it happens to me. I see somebody or they're doing something, they have something, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't have that. I was fine 3 seconds ago with not having it. But now that I see it, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
comparison is the
stupid,
thief of
honestly. It's
joy.
stupid. It is. And it's stupid. So Audrey, I just said we quit.
Yeah, I'm down. We can book a plane ticket right now. Let's just cut this right now.
Actually, you know what? We're gonna end the episode right here. Is there anything else you want to say?
Always. No, I think that's it, it's just I think at the end of all of this it's just sitting back and realizing what you do have. Because ultimately if you're so focused on what if I could have that, I could this, they have that, what if I quit because then I would have this thing? It's like flip it on its head and be like, okay, what do I currently have? What am I happy with? What wants that I maybe really want last year or when I was a little kid that now I am so proud of? I think the more you sit in gratitude and are just thankful for what you have, that abundance is just going to keep coming your way, and you're not going to be sitting in a comparison going, "Oh man, this sucks." It's just like I like where I'm at. I'm happy.
You know what? That sounds very lovely. We're gonna play here good guy, bad guy. You're gonna be the good guy. I'm gonna be the bad guy and say, if you want to quit something, just quit it and fuck it.
Me appreciate life, love. You quit it.
If it doesn't serve you, quit it. And goodbye.
True.
Live with the consequences later.
Build a pro con
Yeah.
list. If there's more cons than pros, shift to what you want to shift to.
Yeah. And it's always, of course, I say it very aggressively, but I mean it. But you have to think about it. But if something really is not serving you, quit it. It's better to quit it than to keep dragging it along. It feels like a
That's fair.
heavy bag that you're carrying and the weight of it. No, just quit it. It's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. And it doesn't matter how society views you if you go from here to here, but if it makes you happier, it doesn't matter what people say. Just do whatever is best for you without caring about what other people may think. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm going to leave this episode like this. Audrey, I say we quit. I say we buy a plane ticket and we live and we never come back. And I'm just gonna end it right here. And you're never gonna know if you're gonna hear from us again.
Finger. I love it.
Okay, bye.